We are halfway into our midweek 6-game special live from Las Piñas. And in case you've just tuned in, 14 under game, nanalo po ang Rizal. Samantalang 16 under game, it is Bulacan that was victorious. And this time we would now be moving on to our 18 under division matchup between Rizal Switch Fiber and JT Bulacan Taipan as we bring you the action from the country's premier youth basketball league, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And as always, from the morning, now greeting you a good afternoon mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. Jaime Mendihar joined once again by Coach Noy Africa for the third and middle game of this Thursday. Kasama natin si Rinoa Sanchez later on. And rubber match para dito sa parehong koponan in this virtual best of three.
And both of these teams coming off wins, so easily, the best motivation is to keep winning, and we're looking for both teams to try and gain a victory here in the Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Speaking of coming off a win, unahin na muna natin ang Rizal Switch Fiber and their performance in their previous assignment against the Quezon City 828 Junior Giants.
And in that game, they won big 87-73. Despite Quezon City shooting better from the field and despite getting out-rebounded, being able to make 7 more conversions from the three-point line, giving them a 21-point advantage in that category. And then they were able to force a lot of turnovers, forcing 27 turnovers on the Junior Giants and able to convert that into 36 points of turnovers. Rizal relied on a 47-point first half output while limiting Quezon City to only 11 points in the third quarter. And in that game, their top performer, Chris John D, finishing with 21.7 rebounds, 5 assists, and add to that, 5 steals.
Dito naman tayo sa kabila sa Bulacan, JT Taipan winning big as well by 21 points. Pinana nila ang May Kawayan Bamboo Archers.
That's right, in that ball game, they shot very well from the field, 57%. And just like Rizal Switch Fiber, despite being out-rebounded 36-30, using the long ball as a weapon, the 5 3-pointers advantage converted into 15 points. And of course, being able to force turnovers and the ability to get out in transition. 23 fast break points for Bulacan against just 14 for May Kawayan. Of course, the leader of this team, their top gunner, Russell James Del Pozo, in that last game against May Kawayan, finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals.
Now let's get on with this rubber match between Rizal and Bulacan. Heading over to our venue announcer, Kagawad Balong Rosetes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Banana Court, Las Piñas City. Here we go for the third match of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. It's time to shine and presenting their cities. It's a battle between Rizal Switch Fiber versus Bulacan JT Taipan. Let's meet the starter first from your Rizal Switch Fiber. Guard number 15, Yan Sagorda. Shooting guard number 47, Sean Vergara. Forward 28, Alonso Austria. Power forward number 8, Sean Franco. Man in the middle, number 16, Enrico Gural. The head coach of Rizal Switch Fiber 1800 is Coach John A. Necesito. Assistant coach Jesse Cobra Manatap. Team manager Ariel Balahaja. And now, time to meet the starting lineup of your Bulacan JT Taipan. Guard number 2, France Lavalle. Shooting guard number 14, Russell Santos. Forward number 25, Lordy Victoria. Power forward number 10, Kiel De La Vega. Center number 7, Simon Polombari. Head coach of Bulacan Taipan 1800 is Coach JP Magbitang. His assistant Andy Chongson, Giro Del Pozo.
A look at the starters once again, brought to us by Doride Official basketball of the Junior MPBL. Bulacan will begin this game with Francis Lavalle, Russell Santos, Lordy Victoria, Kiel de la Vega, and Simon Pulong Barit. Rizal naman, we have Yan Tagorda, Sean Vergara, Alonzo Austria, Sean Franco, and Enrico Giral rounding out their five for this game number 3 of a 14, 16, and 18 under series between the Rizal Switch Fiber and Bulacan JT Taipan mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. Tip goes to Rizal. Battle between teams that you said, Coach Noy, coming off victories. And that 3-point snipe, courtesy of Franco, maaga mapapaupo ang bench ng Rizal.
And of course, looking at the lineup of JT Bulacan Taipan, some familiar faces, Simon Pulong Barit and Charles Lordy Victoria, moving up from the 16 and under squad, and of course holdovers from their 18 under squad, Mark Russell Santos and RDP 30.
Not SC 30,
RDP 30.
RDP 30. Pero binansagang ang Steph Curry ng Bulacan. I do see it in my feed. Boys from Bulacan representing their school well. Itong Living Angels Christian Academy for the guys in red, where Rizal, I believe, product of that Arellano system, similar to their 16 under counterparts. As you see Austria hitting on another 3. Alam mo, this was the same start that 16 under team had earlier. Yung dalawang 3-pointers in that first quarter.
While on the other side for the Rizal Switch Fiber, some familiar faces also coming from the 16 and under squad. John Ray Ladica and Axel Mendoza, who are not on the floor just yet. But John Ray Ladica, I believe, will miss this ball game, which will be reported later by Rinoa.
He is in the venue, sporting those joggers. Opposite side, kung nasan tayo. Saw him earlier, kaya may, yun nga, Rinoa will talk about that later. Leading by 7 is Rizal early in this game, 8-1. Santos will try from outside. That's off. Some offensive struggles to begin this ball game para sa Bulacan JT Taipan.
And going back to John Ray Ladica, he is the leading scorer for this team, averaging 16 points. And you're gonna miss definitely that offensive production. But this is a team that has 5 players averaging in double digits. You've got Christian D averaging 15 points, Sean Franco 14, Aaron Manansala 12, and John Denver Baluyot averaging 12 points.
And Sean Franco nga already has 5 in this game. Starting off with that 3-pointer. Backcourt violation. Kind of a heads-up play na rin doon para kay De La Vega, because if it didn't do that, it would have been a break para kay Vergara. Seven and a half left sa ating first quarter. Franco will try once again. Short on that 3-point try.
Good box out there by De La Vega, able to stop Giral from getting an offensive rebound.
Santos leading the charge para sa Bulacan. Going baseline is Pulong Barit. 2 white shirts nakapayong, and he will be called for a traveling violation. One of those players that you spoke about, Coach Noy, moving from the 16 to the 18 under of this Bulacan JT Taipan program. Ang laki nito nung 16 under Coach Noy. Ngayon parang, I wouldn't say he's smaller, but I guess mas may height parity na.
Especially when you look at Sean Franco, he plays the wing, but he has a bigger build than De La Vega.
Foul will be called here against Austria. That will be team foul number 2 against the Rizal Switch Fiber. 8-1. Not much has changed in the past couple of minutes. Bulacan still looking for their first field goal. Sportsmanlike foul signaled here by our officials. Prix de la Vega seems to be the culprit. looking to stop that break once again. Talaga nalalagay sa alanganin to si Prix de la Vega. Was able to tap that ball for that backward violation in an earlier play. And this time around,
But more than anything, it's more of the clear path, the advantage foul variety, as Tagorda was set to have a breakaway layup.
that would be De La Vega's second personal in the first quarter. Kinailangan nga muna siyang iupo dito. Si Tagorda misses on his first.
I believe Tagorda also moved up from the 16 and under squad. So it's an opportunity actually for guys like Vergara and Tagorda to step up in the absence of John Ray Ladica.
I think more than the points that you will be losing dito kay John Ray Ladica, you mentioned he is the leading scorer. Marami namang willing scorers dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber. I think that ability to create of the dribble and the way he puts pressure dun sa interior defense ng mga kalaban is what they would be sorely missing more than the numbers that John Ray Ladica is carrying.
Especially when they pressure the basketball, he's excellent at reading those passing lanes, and you know the height that he brings in playing. He could play guard and be able to still defend in the interior. That's what they will sorely miss, the versatility that he brings.
Traveling violation will called here against the Switch Fiber. Sean Vergara took an extra step. It's 9-1, 8-point lead pa rin para sa Rizal Switch Fiber. Santos, his floater blocked by Giral.
You can see there easily inches advantage for Giral, but you know, Mark Russell Santos will never back down.
The Humvee, as you like to call him. They throw it away once again. Another turnover. This time, Vergara taking it all the way. So, reaction ng teammates nila dito dahil akala nila magmimintis pa yung layup. And with 4:50 remaining here in the first, it's a 10-point lead para sa Rizal as Bulacan will call for this nature spring timeout. Take another look at that Vergara breakaway layup. No choice nga for Bulacan, scoring just a point. More than halfway through our first. I'd like to talk it over with this nature spring timeout.
Kanina nga, while the Rizal Switch Fiber is preparing for the game, there are two players who are only watching from afar because of a one-day suspension. Ayon kay player number 22, Chris John D, nagkaroon daw ng onting bigayan at sikuhan sa kapwa niya mang lalaro noong nakaraang game. Samantalang si number 14 naman, John Ray Ladica, ay nagkaroon naman ng hawian at may onting flop reaction daw sa kanyang kalaban. Kaya naman upon reviewing ay nagresulta ito sa suspension foul and ejection of the player of the ball game. Pero ayon kay John Chris D, this will be a lesson for him to be more patient and calm sa susunod at wag na raw pumatol. And they accept this because this is all part of the game daw. Back to you mga kaliga.
Thank you rin Noah for that report. Yun nga, John Ray Ladica and John Chris D would be missing this particular game against JT Bulacan Taipan due to that previous skirmish. And they played the Quezon City Junior Giants. Pero importante doon is that experience has taught them a lesson, be more patient, a bit more disciplined, and avoid getting themselves into that type of situation.
Yeah, just as we were discussing them missing the 16 points of John Ray Ladica, you add to that the 15 points that Chris John D is averaging. So that's a combined 31 points that they have to fill in. But so far, they've been doing a good job as they're ahead by 13 points. As the other half of the 16 under dynamic duo, Axel Mendoza, introducing him into this ball game.
Finally, a field goal. Makukuha dito ng JT Bulacan Taipan. Mark Russell Santos hitting from that corner. Took them close to 7 minutes before they got that first field goal to go. This is a 9-point advantage para sa Rizal Switch Fiber. Del Pozo also checking in now, RDP 30 para sa Bulacan. Couple of dribbles in, pulling up is short para kay Sagum. Del Pozo immediately look to create for himself. He will be fouled and head to the line for 2.
And Russell Del Pozo, of course, he's known as a three-point shooter, shooting at a very high rate so far in 2 games, 53%, 9 out of 17. And I think the next progression in him is to be able to show that he can put the ball on the floor, especially since teams will be closing out long on him. And of course, the ability, hopefully, to be able to share the basketball, as you see the head coach of JT Bulacan Taipan, John Paul Magbitang.
Parang gusto ko yung binigay mo yung 3-point shooting stats ni Roger Del Pozo tapos hindi ka nagulat. Parang, ano lang to? I mean, ganito lang talaga yung shooting ni Roger Del Pozo.
He's actually shooting at a better clip now. Before he was really a volume shooter. He can shoot from anywhere, and he tries to keep on proving that every time. As let's see what the call here is. It's an offensive foul on Gapak.
Also one of those holdovers from season number 1 from the 16 under group. So that basket would be negated. Still a 7-point advantage for the Rizal Switch Fiber. Closing in on 2 minutes remaining sa ating first. 3-pointer. Too strong. Gapak with the rebound. Leading the break para sa Bulacan. Finds a lane. Floats it up and good. That time, no offensive foul. Kaya napangiti na lang siya.
And no one stopping the basketball on the side of the Rizal Switch Fiber.
Pulling up from the baseline, that rattles out. Axel Mendoza though. Got the rebound but will lose it on the baseline. Back to Bulacan.
Well, it has not been a seamless transition for Axel Mendoza here in the 18 and under division, as he plays big still. Not unlike the seamless transition seemingly for Janray Ladico, but eventually, he will figure this out.
What would you say is the reason for that, Coach Noy? Na parang yung bigs moving from 16 to 18 or 14 to 16 for that reason compared to wings and maybe even guards have a more parang mas comfortable na galaw between division to division?
Well, the 2-year difference, exponential yung growth. Height-wise, the growth spurts, and the way they fill out their body. So it's a little more difficult for the bigs to deal with the physicality. But when this kid starts to fill out that body with muscle, he's gonna be a force to reckon with, especially since he's very agile and very mobile on the floor.
Lilipad. Now won't work. Para kay Baluyot. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Gapak once again. Goes to the corner. Del Pozo missing earlier, heading away. Won't get that basket to go. Running the break, kicking it out to Guanse. Baluyot once again. Off. Rebounded by Gonzalez. Ahead to Santos. He throws it up. Not counted, I believe. At the end of the first, bit of an opposite dun sa ating previous game. This is a bit of a low-scoring affair. 13-8. 5-point lead para sa Rizal Switch Fiber. The end of the first 10 minutes of action. Look at some of the highlights in our first period. That was the 3-pointer from Santos, breaking the ice para sa Bulacan. Gapak. That shot, though, was waved off. So far, the offense has been okay, even without Ladica and D. 13-8, abante ang Rizal. Magbabalik tayo with the second quarter in just a bit. Babalik tayo sa Banana Court in Las Piñas for this 18 under matchup of Bulacan GT Taipan and the Rizal Switch Fiber for the third of 6 games that we have for you this Thursday. So patuloy natin coverage of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. It's a 5-point lead built by the Rizal Switch Fiber. Gapak once again gets to the lane, adds 2 more to his tally, now with 4.
This time evading the defense as opposed to going straight at it. Learned this lesson for getting called for an offensive foul earlier.
You like the quick adjustment dito kay Gapak, recognizing what he needed to do in terms of getting into that lane. Turnover after turnover. Makuha ng Rizal muli. Baluyot attacking the baseline. A block will be called here against Gonzalez.
A little late on the closeout for Gonzalez. Had to shuffle his feet, and that's something that the big men now will need to learn to be able to still continue to be agile despite being able to throw your weight around inside the paint.
And it starts with your feet talaga din. Yung in terms of alat siguro ng mga ibang players, it has to be active hands, it has to be quick hands, yung matatapikan mo, masusundutan mo. While that plays a part, it does start with the feet as Falses hits on that putback.
That was Falses moving his feet, finding an open space, able to score on that putback.
There's an offensive foul will be called here against Laksamana. Legal pick. That will be the first team foul para sa JT Bulacan Taipan. Very handsome floor director Philip. You might be seeing on your screens. Kapag may balbasarado siya na po yun.
Pag masyado maliwanag.
Pag masyado maliwanag, yung partner ko na yun. No? Pag hindi nyo makita, kulang sa ilaw.
Pag monitor lang yung nakikita nyo.
Pag may lumulutang lang na jersey. No? So it's 15 to 10. Switch Fiber still protecting this 5-point advantage. Barrett.
I think Direk was trying to focus on us earlier. There you go. Thank you, Direk. Just to prove that we're actually here.
May evidence. Probably some people are expecting us to be here.
Kailangan may resibo eh.
Kailangan may resibo. Speaking of resibo, getting a receipt for 2 points is Simon Pulong Barrett. Plugged in from that bench immediately. Getting that basket. His first 2 points though in the ball game.
Now looking at Simon Pulong Barrett, looks ordinary here in the 18 and under division. He was a monster in the 16 and under division.
It kinda is, yeah. Tagorda missing on that floater. So loose ball foul will be called here against Axel Mendoza. And for Mendoza, that would be his first. 2 now on Rizal.
So Rizal, you want this to be a defensive type of ball game. You want this to be low scoring, especially since you're missing 2 players who can easily produce 30 points per ball game.
Nahanap pa nga natin. So, well, Franco did have a great start, having those early 5 points. So, who would be that scorer? No? Who could be that go-to guy in the absence of Latica Hindi para sa Rizal Switch Fiber? Attacking the lane, Baluyot will be fouled, heading to the line for a couple. I like the aggressiveness itong si John Denver Baluyot.
And if you look at the build of John Denver Baluyot, it's almost exactly the same build as Axel Mendoza. But you see how he moves. He's more of a forward. He's more comfortable playing from the outside. So I think that's really where the adjustment is going to come from for Axel Mendoza. Unless he, grows maybe like 3 more inches, he can still keep playing the way he's playing.
I like that you pointed that out, no? Kasi, syempre, sa 16 under, alangan namang hindi ka sentro. Pero now that you moved on to 18 under, and maybe the growth height-wise didn't follow, or hasn't followed yet, it's a bit of a struggle kasi talagang even the case of Simon Pulong-Barit, kaya natin sinasabi that he seems smaller, not that he shrunk, but more the 18 under people. Talaga namang nakita mo, mas level na sa kanya kumpara nung nasa 16 under siya. We will get to that point once again while we have this Nature Spring timeout. It's 15-12. The Switch Fiber is still up by 3. 5:49 remaining sa ating first half. It's 15-12. The Rizal Switch Fiber trying to protect this 3-point advantage against JT Bulacan Taipan. In the absence of John Ray Ladica and Chris John Day, you would say this is the way you would want to start if ikaw ang Rizal. And off that timeout, perfectly executed play. That was Keon Gonzalez hitting from outside.
And it's an opportunity for the other guys to find some shots here. And so far, the bench has been up to the task for Rizal Switch Fiber.
Pulong-Barit spins baseline, attacking the lane, will be fouled from behind. Good to know that yung mobility, ang agility nito ni Simon Pulong-Barit in full display in that instance.
And I think it's something that he worked on during the off-season because back in the 16 under, he was just bullying and pushing people around. And it's nice to see that he actually has fast feet. Parang naging game of feet yung usapan natin in this ball game.
Baka isipin tuloy ng mga nanonood sa ating coach, no? What's it with these two guys and feet? Pulong-Barit hitting on the first, splits his charities, unable to hit on the second. Bulacan still trailing by 5, although Franco will turn it over immediately to the delight of the Bulacan bench. Doon nga nangyari sa harap nila.
And they have continued to be spirited and animated, this JT Bulacan bench, although they're still down by 5 points.
Lacson goes to Victoria. He finds Santos for another 3. Gets that 3 to go, his second 3-pointer of the game. Mark Russell Santos. You know, he could hit that. I think he has to be more consistent in getting that 3-pointer to go. As an 8-second violation, pressure mounting from the defensive side of Bulacan.
You know, Mark Russell Santos really not known to be a heavy scorer, but he puts a lot of pressure on the basketball, and he was last year pretty much the emotional leader of this squad, and a very inspiring, one of the most inspiring stories in season 1. Lost his mother just a few days before he had to play a game. He was actually excused from needing to play in that game, but for him, he just wanted to play and led his team to a victory, earning Best Player of the Game honors in an overtime win.
I remember covering that game because tayong dalawa rin yung nag-cover noon. We're deadlocked at 18 after that Pulong-Barit basket earlier. As a foul will be called here against Franco, showing his displeasure. That would just be his first, but that would mean that would put Rizal at the limit. With still 3:25 remaining. And Franco will be assessed a warning after that reaction. Victoria looping it high, looking for Pulong-Barit, but can't contain that leather. This is Franco. At 5 in that first. So hold will be called here against Lacson. Meanwhile, we turn it over to Rinoa for another report. Rinoa?
Thank you, Jaime and Coach Noy. Despite their slow start, the Bulacan JT Taipan is still looking to clinch their third win of the season. However, the team is currently struggling with their rotation as their star player, Rainier Pangan, is out of the ball game due to a sprain injury from last game versus May Kawayan Bamboo Archers. Dagdag pa nga ni Coach JP Magbitang, Mr. Pangan's absence is a heavy blow since in all of the rotation system, he is included. Let us see how the Bulacan JT Taipan cope with their current struggle. Back to you, Jamie and Coach Noy.
Thank you, Rinoa, and we wish a speedy recovery kay Rainier Pangan, nursing that injury. As while Rinoa was reporting, Simon Pulumbarit scoring once again. The hoop and the harm. That move brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL.
You know, despite both teams missing some key players, the opportunities are endless here in the Junior MPBL. Of course, you're, I think, allowed to play 20 players at a particular game. So it's an opportunity for the other guys to step up.
Santos will be whistled for that personal. Now Bulacan is at the limit. Free throws coming up for their next foul. And yun nga, Noy, no? And I mean, injuries part of the game, suspensions part of the game, and in season number 1, we've had instances where players have other commitments, especially to their mother schools. No? So for players that may not necessarily have consistent playing time, magkakaroon ng butas yan, and that would be kind of your chance to shine and prove your worth.
Especially, you know, at the tail end of the tournament where school commitments really come into fore. It's an opportunity for everyone to get their chance at grabbing the spotlight.
Take another look at that Pound for Pound Fitness foul counted move brought to us by Pound for Pound, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Giral able to find great possession, and Pulong Barit giving up that foul. Lead back to Rizal 22-21 with a bonus free throw on the way. Able to get the bounce. Minute and a half left here in the second. They go to Santos. Kick out. Victoria for 3. Off. Can track it down was Rizal. Ball will remain with Bulacan. 14 left on their shot clock.
Score 22 for Rizal. 21 for Bulacan. This was a first quarter score in the 16 and under.
we did find that surprising, to be fair. When it was, I think, at the third quarter, both teams closing in on 60. Parang nasa Junior MPBL pa ba tayo? Less than a minute left here in the first half. Gapak will run the offense para sa Bulacan. Kick out to the corner. Wide open for 3 once again was Santos, but will miss. Not the best foul. 94 feet away from the basketball, rewarding 2 free throws para sa Switch Fiber.
And again, like what you said earlier, what needs to be consistent for Mark Russell Santos, especially since, you know, if you look at him vertically, he's going to be challenged. And that's why it's important for him to be able to space the floor. That time that was a corner 3. The nearest three-pointer that you can ever take. He was wide open, not able to knock it down. He needs to be more consistent, especially since he wants to be the primary playmaker for JT Bulacan Taipan. You have to make yourself an offensive threat. Maybe harder for you to try and penetrate the defense inside. At the very least, he needs to develop that outside shot.
Tagorda hits on that second, 23-21. Still in favor of Rizal. Gapak once again gets the bump. No whistle. Ball will stay with Bulacan.
I like how the referees let that action go. Not rewarding him for his aggressiveness, but also, you know, not rewarding Giral for being in perfect defensive position. That pretty much canceled itself out. That's why the referees decided to just let that go.
This is Del Pozo. 4 seconds. loses the basketball. They could hold for the last shot if they wish to is Rizal. Tagorda takes a look and smartly gets away. Kala ko he will milk the clock until the last second, but instead scores on that layup, but will give up that foul against Del Pozo. So after an excellent play on one side, giving up that foul, penalty ng Rizal and awarding 2 free throws with just 0.7 seconds remaining on the clock.
Although where he fouled Russell James Del Pozo, it's already Del Pozo country.
Okay.
Although he wasn't in a scoring position just yet, but to his defense, you really need to stay close to him. Although making him shoot from just past half court would have been low percentage.
Kumbaga sa 2K, nagkakaroon na ng pumapalo na yung able to hit on both charities as RDP 30. Trailing by 2 now is Bulacan, 25-23. As a switch fiber will call for Nature Spring timeout, trying to draw one last play with 0.7 seconds left here in the second. Just 0.7 seconds left here in the second quarter. The Rizal switch fiber looking to extend this 2-point advantage. Trying to draw something up. Football pass. Got to Aurita. But no attempt was taken para sa Rizal. Nevertheless, abante pa rin sila dito. Heading into our second half of action. 25-23 against Bulacan. Low scoring affair but a tight one at that. Halftime po muna tayo. Magbabalik tayo with more of your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Few moments before we resume our second half of action, Rizal and Bulacan in this 18 under North Division. A look at some highlights in our first two periods. It's not quite the high-scoring affair that we had in the 16 under game. Medyo maalat pa parehong koponan from the field. Maybe in the absence then of John Ray Ladica and Chris John D for the Rizal switch fiber, and Russell Del Pozo as well. Not quite lighting it up just yet.
And despite the score being this low, both teams have actually been very decent from the floor. 45% for Rizal, 43% for Bulacan. As you see here, Bulacan with Simon Pulong-Barret leading the way with 8 points. You've got Santos with 6, Gapak with 4. While for Rizal, really obviously struggling without their top 2 scorers. But Franco trying to fill in, Ezequiel Tagorda with 5, and Austria with 3.
Nahanap din pa natin who can actually fill in those scoring shoes of Ladica and D. Despite those struggles though, or that absence of a go-to scorer para sa Rizal, they are up by 2, 25-23, heading into our second half of action. So a welcome addition to the scoring column though. We saw earlier Simon Pulong-Barret hasn't been quite the 18 under start that he might have envisioned, although they are 2-0 their first 2 assignments. I would say isa din sa mga players, we talked about Axel Mendoza and his move from 16 to 18, that Simon Pulong-Barret is also trying to figure out still.
And so far in this ball game, it seems like Pulong-Barret has somehow started to figure things out, as Axel Mendoza will start for the Rizal switch fiber in the second half.
Go to the corner, 3-pointer, off to the left. Absorbing the contact and help to the line is Sean Vergara para sa Rizal. Able to track that offensive rebound down. Just enough patience para mapakagat kanyang defender.
And for the side of Bulacan also, we're waiting for the Russell Del Pozo explosion, which has yet to come. He's averaging averaging 18 points per game, and so far he's only scored 4 points. So credit to the defense of the Rizal switch fiber.
Don't tell me, Noy. When I was watching the ball go in after that shot from Russell Del Pozo, as Axel Mendoza scores on the other end, why is it always like that, Noy? It's a pass, mapupunta sa Rizal bench. A bit too high for Mark Russell Santos. So just going back to the 3-pointer, Noy, parang sinusukat talaga eh.
I was looking at the numbers, and as soon as I finished talking, I looked up and just saw the ball in the air as Vergara dropped the Gapak on that situation. Let's see if we got that in the replay.
Makukompleto na sana yung highlight, kaso binato rin niya, na-turnover din niya yung bola eh. 29-26, 3-point lead for Rizal. Del Pozo, hit on his first 3, gets the bump. Wouldn't get the roll. Have a chance to earn it from the line. Seems to be a bit more aggressive now here in the second half.
And he's all right there, reading the defense better, seeing that closeout coming. Russell Del Pozo putting the ball on the floor. And, he may look confident, but he's been that confident even in season 1.
When I covered yung game nila in Inares Pasig, can't quite recall who they were up against. We're talking about, we talked to him during half, kami ni Coach Joseph. And I saw that talaga nag-bulk up siya. And he did admit that that was his main focus during the off-season, to make sure that he does bulk up. And sabi mo nga, ang kulang na lang din sa laro niya is a more consistent drive to the basket. Kasi kita naman natin, he already has that outside shot working for him. And in order to be more effective, talagang kailangan yung strength mabuo mo rin and absorbing that contact.
And you were talking to him with Coach Joseph Guion. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him with the Generals sooner or later, but that time Vergara able to drop it from long distance.
Naghahanap kasi tayo ng high-octane offense, Coach Noy. That three-pointer won't go down para kay Santos this quarter. A lot more offense for both these teams. As Gapak sidesteps his way to the middle, will be fouled by Vergara. Maybe exacting a bit of revenge after that ankle breaker kanina.
But Gapak again making better decisions, trying to evade the defense now as opposed to just going straight into the defense. Will earn a trip to the free throw line. So far, Gapak has 4 points to go with 3 rebounds.
Snash Lawrence Gapak. 3.5 assists, averaging in her first 2 assignments. Empty though from the free throw stripe. Bante pa rin ang 4 ang Rizal, 32-28. So foul will be called here against Gapak. Didn't like that call. Now the team foul number 2 against JT Bulacan Taipan. As Laksamana and Lordy Victoria will check back in. Upo muna si Kalachan and Santos. We are in the Banana Court in Las Piñas. Villar County. The color is consistent with the colors, of course, the Villars. As a basket will be converted here. Axel Mendoza. Parang interchangeable nga sila, no? Pag magkatabi sila ni Baluyot. Able to get that basket plus the foul. Extending this lead now to 6.
Actually, you see a lot of that kind of build from this Rizal squad. Look at Manansala, Baluyot, Franco, and Axel Mendoza. Same long limbs and same very agile bigs.
Meanwhile, let's head over to Rinoa Sanchez for another report. Rinoa?
Thank you, Coach Noy and Jaime. During the huddle earlier, kapansin-pansin ang pagtawag ni Head Coach JP ng pare sa kanyang mga players. And when asked, bakit pare? Ang sabi niya ay gusto niyang iparamdam na walang lamang sa kanila. Walang star player o walang coach dahil ang turing niya sa kanyang mga player ay kapatid. At lahat naman daw sila ay isa lang ang goal. Manalo sa ligang ito, magpakita sa liga na ito at dalhin sa Manila ang mga Bulakenyong manlalaro nila. Back to you, Jaime and Coach Noy.
Thank you, Rinoa, as we see Del Pozo scoring on another bucket. That's 7 now in the third quarter alone. And he has that look now, trying to take over, looking to address this deficit. Now down to 2, 34-32. Take another look at that lefty layup. Mapapatawag nga ng timeout itong Rizal Switch Fiber, brought to us by Nature Spring. Back with the last 6:02 of our third quarter. It's 34-30. Rizal Switch Fiber still in the driver's seat. Whenever Bulacan, especially si RDP 30, kind of going on that personal run. Rizal Switch Fiber using that balance. No Ladika nga, no D in their lineups for today's game. Still able to manufacture those points and hold on to this lead.
And they managed to keep the score low, and I think that's what's really important. I'm not sure if that was by design, but I feel like with the manpower that they have here, lack of manpower actually, those two guys that they're missing, this is to the most benefit for the Rizal Switch Fiber. And going back to that report earlier by Rino, I think that's the best way to hide a generation gap, pare.
Boss Chief.
Boss Chief. No, you're still exuding authority. So pare, pantay-pantay lang kayo. So even if I try and coach a 14 and under squad. I called them all pare. We're all equals. We're pare-pareho lang kami ng age.
That's one way. Tama ka nga. To bridge that gap. Because obviously there is a gap.
Oh yeah. Of course, yung panel nga na susunod sa atin, mga pari lang natin yan eh. Of course, coming up next, Cho Pangilinan and Kito Limbo debuting for the panel here in the Junior MPBL. Of course, Cho Pangilinan, the fans of the Junior MPBL probably know more than us.
he definitely. I mean, I won't blame people if it's only Cho Pangilinan that they know. They will be covering, of course, the Antipolo JY Titans and the Marikina Junior Shoe Masters for the second half of our 6-game slate as Baluyot will miss inside. Nice pass. Franco streaking down the lane. Lead up to 4. 36-32. 4.5 remaining sa ating third.
Sean Franco sharing the scoring leader honors for Rizal together with Sean Vergara. So the Seans have come to play.
Lacson stopped in that attack. Giral gets it to Falses. Ooh, nice trail job there by Victoria, but foul will be called. Stagorda will head back to the line.
No easy tools being given up here by Bulacan as still able to chase down Falses on that play.
Was Falses that was fouled, correction. Parang interchangeable din kasi ito si Tagorda at si Falses.
That's Coach John Necesito who still has managed to keep the lead 38-32 with Bulacan always lurking in the shadows trying to overtake them.
Ano na importante sa Rizal to keep them in that shadow. At the line is the 2-game win streak of Bulacan JT Taipan. Their 16-under counterparts were successful in keeping that streak alive. Santos against Falses. He steps back, blocked by Giral. Takbo dito ang Rizal. Franco looking inside. Will keep it on the baseline. Still 18 to work with.
And the energy of Victoria almost creating a steal. But it's Rizal keeping the basketball.
The biggest lead para sa Rizal was at 12 during that first quarter barrage. As Tagorda makes the lead 8, 40-32. Bulacan now struggling in the offense. Santos will reset through Lacson. Kick out. Victoria from the corner. Ball rattles out. Hawak. Tatawag dito against Tagorda. That would put Rizal at the limit. Next foul will mean free throws. Both teams actually now in the penalty. A little under 3 minutes left here in the third. The buzzer sounds to signal a Nature Springtime out. Called by Bulacan JT Taipan. Forty to 32, Rizal still up by 8. Bulacan having a field goal drought once again. Badly need the basket. Pulong Barit will be called for that push from the back, and that would mean free throws para kay Sean Franco.
No, that was a loose ball foul, so they won't be awarding. Oh yeah, they are awarding free throws. Earlier, it was Tagorda trying to box out Pulong Barit. He had no choice because Pulong Barit had the advantage, but this time it's Sean Franco boxing out Pulong Barit. Pulong Barit naman yung nanulak.
Hindi naman sa wala rin siyang choice doon. No? But I guess natural to try and get a rebound that's long. Tas ikaw yung nasa likod.
I think they just called line violation on Franco on that first free throw. That's not something you always see.
Second free throw. Battles out. Rebound battle. Rizal will get another opportunity. Falses. Short on that layup. He gets his own miss, but will lose it to Victoria. Santos, aabante. Will get clipped. Will be rewarded with 2 free throws.
You gotta love the spunk in the game of Mark Russell Santos. I didn't think it was the right move, but as soon as he got the foul and able to get to the free throw line, seemed like the smart move. As so far in the game, he's only had 6 points. So still trying to become a factor offensively for Bulacan.
Thank you for that earlier shot. We're getting the angles of the beautiful people here sa Banana Court in Las Piñas. Shout out sa ating cameraman Balong Mulano. Working hard day in, day out para sa ating Manny Pacquiao Jr. MPBL together with our production team. First one in, last one out. Maraming salamat po for your hard work. Making this league available, especially sa live stream, Facebook, YouTube. You're enjoying the action so far here this afternoon. Stepping on the sideline will be called against Sean Franco. Ball goes back to Bulacan.
After a strong start in the first quarter, Sean Franco has really slowed down, only with 7 points so far in the ball game. But that's 3 players now with 7 points each. Franco, Vergara, and Tagorda, all 3 trying to step up in the absence of their leading scorers.
Parang committee yung approach dito ng Rizal. You can't exactly, I guess, replace that scoring in one go. Could be a couple of players chipping in, as with the theme of Rizal so far. Lacson, smallest guy on the court, getting that offensive rebound. Gives it to Santos. Ooh, finds De La Vega inside.
That's what you expect from Santos. He's always looking for an open teammate. At that time, De La Vega gets 2 points.
Answers is Baluyot on the other end. Lead up to 6. Nice tap, but Lacson fighting for that ball. Falses, tracks it down. Lambert. His pull up off the glass. Kakapasok pa lamang and immediately even Ladica in the left side of the court celebrating that shot.
And, love the energy coming from the Rizal team, celebrating baskets as Mark Russell Santos finds a way to get his 2 points on the other end.
The Humvee special through traffic. Able to finish. 3-pointer is short, but able to track it down is Axel Mendoza. It's a foul away from the basketball will be called here. It seems to be against Lacson. Look at that move. Mark Russell Santos. And while it may look surprising, we've seen that time and time again.
But never fails to amaze us that he finds a way to get that shot up, especially within the fiber of the defense of Rizal.
Okay. It's 44-38. John Axel Mendoza looking to add to their lead. His second free throw too strong. Ooh, and sportsmanlike foul signaled here by our officials. Might go against a Bulacan player, it appears. Officials would definitely have a second look. Make sure that is the right call. So it's Prix de la Vega that would be called for that unsportsmanlike. And if it's another unsportsmanlike, I believe that would be it para kay Prix. Because he was called during the first quarter, trying to break that fast break. Out of the playing court. Yun na nga. So Prix de la Vega would no longer be available para dito sa Bulacan JT Taipan.
And in a close game like this, fouls like those could easily create a switch in momentum.
It's the tug. And the jersey was the whistle, or the reason why that unsportsmanlike foul was called. So Prix de la Vega might just have to wait outside. Alam ko, sabay-sabay naman nagpupunta dito itong mga taga Bulacan. Kailangan namang mauna na siya.
And it's a long ways from Bulacan. As the marshals escorting him outside of the playing court.
So it was Manansala, the recipient of that tug, that jersey pull from Prix de la Vega, will split his charities. And inch by inch, Rizal looking to build on this advantage again. Back to a 7-point lead. Was as high as 13 in the first half. They have yet to give up this lead so far. Baluyot, 5 to shoot. Fading to his left, won't work. Gonzalez, high up for that rebound. Gets it to Santos. Victoria asking for it. Gives us a corner three. Nails it. 45-40 our score at the end of the third after that Victoria conversion in the nick of time. Oh, it's a long two, it seems, as we saw in that replay. So they would make that correction if indeed confirmed. It's 45-40 at the moment. Rizal switch fiber with his 5-point advantage. So it's 45-40. That shot from Lordy Victoria at the end of the third quarter was just a long two. So instead of 45-41, it's just 45-40. So it has been corrected and confirmed. So Rizal looking to protect this 5-point advantage, which they have done a great job on for the entirety of this ball game. In the absence of John Ray Ladica, Coach Noy, in the absence of Chris John D. Yeah, yung committee scoring has been working wonders para sa Rizal.
That's what you like for Bulacan. They keep on coming, and right now they're down by just 3 points.
Lacson opens the scoring festivities, lead down to 3. Once again, Bulacan knocking at the door. Nice read there from Gonzalez coming up with that steal as Baluyot committing that foul, trying to stop Russell Santos.
And at the start the fourth quarter, Bulacan showing the defensive chops as that lead is down to just 3 points with an opportunity to tie even with the three-pointer.
Great execution there at the beginning of the quarter. Laksamana, hand off to Lacson. So 12 to shoot. Lacson pa rin. Escapes his primary defender. So another foul will be called here against Rizal. Enrico Giral commits the second team foul para sa Rizal's switch fiber. That would be 3 on Giral.
And that's something that the big men will need to learn. They will need to be able to keep in step with the quicker guards, especially with the way defensive switches are done nowadays.
This is Santos. Loses the basketball. Trying to fight for it. 2 seconds on the shot clock. They have to put it up. Shot did hit the ring but put back. Ayaw para kay Laksamana. Bulacan though will have another opportunity as they would keep it on the baseline. Shot clock will reset to 14.
I'm not sure if they got the shot off in time, but the referees letting the play go on, and Bulacan will get another opportunity.
Yet another unsportsmanlike foul. This time, si Giral ang mapipituhan. Earlier, it was Prix de la Vega who has called it an afternoon, committing his second unsportsmanlike foul. And if that would be Giral, that would be his 4th. So Axel Mendoza has to replace him. Take another look. It's the slightest of a nudge.
But whenever you get hit above the shoulder in the head area, the referees have been very strict about this. Even during the inaugural season of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, it's really just to avoid any kind of untoward incidents. And so far, they've been very consistent with this.
It's really what we appreciate, no? Even dun sa jersey tuck-in rule na meron tayo dito sa ating liga. That regardless of instance when it happens, regardless of the score, o how crucial the game is, kailangan niyang itawagan, tinatawagan talaga. Free throw converted, 45 to 43, down to a 2-point lead. Victoria trying to take that lead, gets it to go para sa JT Bulacan Taipan. Now up by 1, 46 to 45.
No RDP, 30 on the floor, no problem as Charles Victoria able to give the lead back to Bulacan.
Lord de Victoria, sabi mo nga, one of those players moving from 16 to 18. Showing us that his shooting has stayed with him. So late and 40 left sa ating 4th. As ball goes back to Bulacan. Turnover once again para sa Rizal.
But despite the struggle so far of Rizal here in the 4th quarter, still scoreless. They're only down by a single point, so no cause for concern for Coach John Necesito.
They were up as high as 13. Santos from outside rattles in that basketball.
He only has 12 points and 2 assists, but his contributions have really been very valuable. It may not show in the stat sheet, but he has led his team back. That's talking about Russell Santos.
48 to 45. Bulacan up by 3. Franco, foul on the floor. Just the first team foul para sa Bulacan. We're talking about how the balanced attack dito ng Rizal Switch Fiber has been working for them. But I think here in the 4th, parang you badly need that player na pag medyo disorganized na kayo, you could dump that ball into that person, which John Ray Ladica would usually be. But in the absence of him, sino ba yung pwedeng puntahan dito ng Rizal?
Somebody that really needs to step up early in the game. It was Franco who was trying to reprise that role. Vergara at that time called for steps, and big problem for Rizal. A well-rested Russell Del Pozo has checked back in. And if he gets hot, this game could turn ugly really quick.
Turn ugly really quick. That's like this Victoria three-pointer will miss, but he will be fouled. Bit too overzealous on that closeout was Yan Tagorda.
As you said, too aggressive on that closeout, hitting Victoria. Victoria, you know, he looks very calm. despite that closeout coming, just continued with his regular motion. And since we're talking about him nicely, he will miss on that first free throw. But he has still 2 shots to match his average of 10 points.
Since the second to make up for that first miss. I like how elegant yung pangalan nito. Lord Victoria. Right? There's the type of elegance din in his game. His outside shooting has been key in this comeback from Bulacan. Hitting on 2 out of 3 free throws, extending the lead now to 5, 50-45. Still 7:40 remaining. So yung puhunan ng Rizal dito, Coach Noy, I think yun yung isang they would rely on.
And earlier we were covering John Lord Cruz. So some kind of elegance there as Sean Franco looks like he's telling us that I can take on the primary scorer role here for the Rizal, which Fiber gives. Cuts down the lead to just 2.
Pulong Barrett finishes inside, plus the foul of that find from Gapak, breaking down the defense with the welcome arms of Simon Pulong Barrett. Just the first 2 of Pulong Barrett here in the 4th. He now has 10, joining Del Pozo and Santos in double digits para sa Bulacan. Samantala, Sean Franco, after that 3-pointer earlier, he is the only player in double figures para sa Rizal. Back to a 5-point lead, 53-48. 3-pointer. Baluyo too strong. Tapikan. Loose ball foul will be called here. Seems to be against Nash Gapak. Indeed, it would be against Gapak. That would be Gapak's 4th. Has to be careful. Team foul number 2 para sa Bulacan. Ball almost stolen away. Still 7 seconds on the shot clock. Vergara is trying to look for Franco cutting baseline. Pass a bit off.
Right now, the importance of protecting the basketball, very vital for both teams. As turnovers, they're pretty much equal at 13.
Del Pozo will be pushed from behind by Franco and immediately signaling for that penalty.
It's not only the penalty sign but the smile that came with it.
Alam mong yun lang yung ano niya talaga eh. That was what he was trying to go for. Knowing that Rizal has been in the penalty since earlier. Will miss on that first though.
You like that in a player, you know, he's well aware of the foul situation. Like when we heard the foul, the first instinct for us was to look at the scoreboard. He knew, he didn't have to look.
Lead up to 6, 54-48. It's a long way to go. 6:20 remaining here in this game. Foul says for 3. That's short. Del Pozo with a rebound. Looking to slow it down. Gapak calls it out. Finds the lane once again. Kick out. Victoria wide open. Hits another one. Lord de Victoria will give them a 9-point lead, the biggest of this game so far para sa Bulacan. JT Taipan, 57-48. Gapak once again finding an open teammate. Close out a bit too late. Victoria hits on another one. We have another Nature Spring timeout. Itatawag dito na Rizal. Action resumes with 6:04 left on the clock. 57-48, Bulacan. Now with a 9-point advantage against the Rizal Switch Fiber. Of the 11 points of Lordy Victoria, couple of 3-pointers here in the fourth. Had that long 2-pointer to end the third quarter, and momentum now shifted to Bulacan.
And it's quite a surprise when you talk about Bulacan and you talk about 3-pointers and Russell Del Pozo is on the floor. Automatically you'd think that it's Del Pozo hitting, but Victoria with a couple of big threes here in the fourth quarter, creating this 9-point advantage for Bulacan.
Credit those baskets, half of those baskets through the facilitating of itong si Nash Gapak. As another foul will be whistled here against Rizal. Couple more free throws paparating para sa Bulacan.
If you look at the demeanor of Victoria, that's a near scowl on his face, pretty much expressionless, just continuing to keep playing emotionless. And this is a kid moving up from the 16 under, now playing in the 18 under and acting like he's been here before.
No intimidation whatsoever. Talagang even-keeled. Much like what he was when he was playing sa 16 under together with Simon Pulong Barret. Nakita ko nga on paper what the JT Bulacan Taipan squad had dito sa 18 with the move of Pulong Barret and Victoria to what was already a formidable lineup of Russell Del Pozo, Mark Russell Santos. You know that this squad, at least on paper, in season number 2.
And you knew these were pieces that would fit perfectly.
For Rizal, has been quite a struggle. Finally, an opportunity for them to get some points up as Axel Mendoza, also one of those players that we were talking about, Coach Noy, moving from 16 to 18. Has had a lot of success sa 16 under. Naghahanap nga tayo, saan ba pwedeng manggaling yung puntos para sa Rizal, Noy, without D, without Ladica?
Actually, you know, he has 6 points, 3 rebounds. For other players, this is a good game. But, you know, we've seen him play before, and I guess we just put him to a higher standard. But we have to understand that he's still very young. He's still adjusting to the 18 and under game. And moving forward, this will just mean positive things for him.
Sometimes you just need reps in that particular division.
And you need people not like us who have very high standards.
Takbo tayo sa kabila. Vergara able to finish. Franco gets the putback to go. Rizal now scoring on those field goals. Lead down to 8, 59-51. Tagorda with a steal. Spin cycle. Gets the finish.
And that's a Tagorda specialty, forcing a turnover and attacking in transition right away. So it's just a 6-point lead for Bulacan.
Kick out. Victoria drives baseline. Finger roll is good.
Looked like a walk in the park for Charles Victoria. Knew that the defense was gonna close out on him as you see him dive for that basketball on that play.
All out nilalaro dito ni Lordy Victoria. Putting his body on the line. Hustling for that basketball. Lucky not to be assessed a foul in that instance. Manansala for 3. Too strong. Able to track it down. Kick out. Sean Franco. Malakas din.
And that's another stop for Bulacan as Rizal now still trying to look for that person they can go to, especially here in the clutch.
Gapak will be blocked. Looking for a foul. None would be given. So 3:54 remaining dito sa larong ito. Abante ng 8 ang Bulacan, 61-53. This is a rubber match. The 14 under team of Rizal was able to secure a victory. 16 under naman, nakabawi ang Bulacan. The winner of this match will go home with that virtual best of 3 victory as Santos blocked inside, but they would reset. Gapak finds the lane once again to the corner. Kalachan for 3. That won't go. Baluyot secures the rebound.
And that's 2 possessions with no touches for Russell Del Pozo, and that's quite interesting for JT Bulacan Taipan.
As Franco ran out of space, was wide open in the corner. Tagorda was able to find him.
We've been getting a lot of violations on that side of the court. A lot. Easily 3 so far today, and this is only the 3rd game. At least 1 per ball game.
Able to break that pressure was Bulacan, although Santos, hounded by 2 white shirts, will lose it. Turn it over back to the switch fiber.
Knew that that was his fault, dribbling into the double team. There was really no need to push the ball that quickly, as you had a score and time advantage.
Closing in to 3 minutes remaining sa ating 4th and final quarter. Rizal naman naghahabol ngayon. Bante ng 8 ang Bulacan. To the corner. Shot too strong. Struggles continue here para sa Rizal. At least on the defensive end, manufacture stops. That's 1 stop as RDP 30 will dribble it off his foot.
Not even that much pressure being shown there by Rizal. Well, you're thinking Russell Del Pozo is having a bad game, but he already has 12 points.
But yeah, that is an off game.
Yeah, it is an off game for him.
Corner 3 once again. Finally, able to dial from downtown. Vergara. Badly needed 3-pointer to keep their team afloat. Lead still 5, 61-56. But a spark of hope para dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber with 2:32 remaining in this game. We have another Nature Spring timeout. (61-56) with 2:32 left in this game. JT Bulacan Taipan now will try to protect this 5-point advantage after their lead was up to as much as 11. Ito naman ang Rizal, making them breathing down their necks, making them react.
Look for Russell Del Pozo to make up for that boo-boo earlier.
They get it to Lacson. Santos now against Austria. Floats it up. No good. Polombarit trying to get that offensive rebound. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Vergara takes it all the way. Challenged by Laksamana. Loose ball. Recovered by Rizal. Vergara, another 3. Gets another one. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Sean Vergara. Lead is down to 2.
Now Bulacan needs to be very careful. They've made some bad decisions on both ends of the floor.
And then 8-second violation called against JT Bulacan Taipan. Rizal will have another opportunity to tie or possibly take the lead. It's been Sean Vergara has kept them afloat. Leading all scorers now for Rizal with 13. Bulacan with 3 team fouls, still has a foul to give. Rizal is in the penalty. Baluyot goes to the left side, will lose that basketball. 3 seconds left to shoot. He will inbound from the baseline. We'll take another look just to make sure that indeed it was a last touch from a Bulacan player.
And Sean Vergara should be a marked man in this play, as he has started to get hot, hitting on back-to-back threes and able to cut the lead from 8 to just 2.
And yung timing din ng Tres Noy eh. Just when you thought that it could get ugly real fast, with the momentum clearly on the side of Bulacan, Sean Vergara snatching it away. Those two key three-pointers. Officials of course looking if indeed it was Bulacan that last touched that basketball. Seems to be tapped by Del Pozo. Question is, did it hit Baluyot after?
But it's quite unclear on that angle, but the referees will correct themselves and the ball will go back to Bulacan, and not really much of a contest there from the Rizal bench.
That's a big break if you are Bulacan. But this pressure defense from the backcourt has caused troubles para sa Bulacan. And just as I say that, able to come up with a steal was Manansala, but can't finish to tie this ball game. Del Pozo hounded once again. Gets it to Lacson. Throwing it ahead. Nobody there. Vergara gets the basketball. They slow it down through Tagorda.
A lot of miscues here by Bulacan. Some at least 3 turnovers in the past few minutes.
Santos will be called for that personal. Not yet in the penalty is Bulacan. That would put them at the limit. So both teams now in the penalty. So if you go naman ng Bulacan, you don't want to give up those cheap fouls and put the switch fiber to the line. Vergara once again, he has been the hero. Yet again, under traveling violation. Napituan na siya sa galaw na yan earlier.
And for Vergara, that's turnover number 7.
A minute and 2 remaining in this game. 2 points separating these teams. Bulacan with the advantage. Gapa has played excellent. Kick out. Del Pozo wide open for the 3. Too strong. Baluyot looking ahead. Manansala will miss on that layup. Will head to the line for 2. Great hustle from Santos, stopping what appeared to be an easy 2 on the other side.
And without committing a flagrant foul that the bench of Rizal was trying to ask for. But actually that was the best play that I've seen from Bulacan earlier. The penetration by Dapak, finding a good look for Russell Del Pozo, but unable to hit it. So opportunity for Manansala to tie the ball game from the free throw line.
Take another look at that play. They're having a look. Sabi mo nga, Coach Noy, that the type of collision that they had might have merited an unsportsmanlike foul, but our officials deeming, and we agree, just your typical foul from Mark Russell Santos in trying to stop that easy layup from Manansala. So Manansala now will be tested. Very important free throws.
Referees didn't even need to take more than a second look, because it was clearly a play at the ball for Russell Santos, as Manansala will hit on the first.
It's a free throw away from yet another deadlock. With 45.8 left in this game. Commissioner Keith with a usual visit to the panel when the score is like this. Gets the roll on the second. We are tied at 61. The push will be called here against Gapak. And that would be big. That would be 5 now on Nash Gapak. So the call initially was a push-off, an offensive foul against Nash. That call will stand. He would be the second player for Bulacan that would be exiting this game permanently. Was a push called against him, trying to release himself from the pressure of the switch fiber. Asking for a second look.
I mean, there was a bit of acting, but still, there was an actual push, and you could see the extension on that push. So that should be an offensive foul.
And you know who sold that foul? Sean Vergara. So if it is an offensive foul, then it shouldn't mean free throws para sa Rizal. So it would just be a baseline inbound from where Bulacan was prior that foul being committed.
But they have 14 seconds on the shot clock to find the go-ahead basket.
Biggest lead so far in this game, Rizal was once up by 13. Bulacan was once up by 11. Both teams have shown the ability to come back and take the lead. Rizal can't do that just yet as Vergara will miss on back-to-back threes. He has been that hero. Can't fault Rizal for going to him. Now it's Bulacan's opportunity. About 6 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Santos against Manansala. Down to 7 seconds now. Drives the lane. His kick out to the corner goes to no one. Mark Russell Santos pointing that Del Pozo should have been in that corner. And with 9.6 left in the game, babalik ang opportunity sa Rizal to get this victory.
Couldn't really fault Del Pozo for moving from his spot there, because he's been standing there for quite a number of plays already, in that ball not finding him. And Del Pozo thinking of going back door, but Santos thought that he was gonna stay there. But at this stage, 9.6 seconds on the clock. If you're Rizal, you want something going to the rim with both teams already in the penalty, but be very careful about those deflections on the inbound.
Obviously, Rizal would hold for that last shot. They've gone to Sean Vergara down the stretch. Has been the main reason kung bakit sila nakabalik dito sa larong ito at naitabla nga.
Also for Rizal, you try to take a shot with maybe 3 seconds left. Give yourself an opportunity to put back any kinds of misses.
It's 61-61 mula dito sa Banana Court in Las Piñas in this 18-under game between JT Bulacan Taipan and the Rizal Switch Fiber. Would be Franco inbounding this basketball. He has Vergara, Tagorda, Baluyot, and Manansala with him. They go to Tagorda. 6 seconds left. Make that 5. Down to 3 for the win. No shot able to be put up, and we're headed into Neuver time. Tied at 61. Great defense there from Bulacan, Coach Noy. No shot. Naipukol doon ng Rizal.
They read that play perfectly, able to just keep in front of their men, able to make that stop. As you see, once again, we're going to overtime.
Highlights in that fourth quarter. Magsasama pa po tayo for 5 more minutes this afternoon. And to no one's surprise, my partner, and apparently it's already rubbing off on me, this is my 3rd overtime in a very young season number 2 of Junior MPBL. At the end of regulation, we're tied at 61. 5 more minutes to determine who will come out victorious. We begin the first overtime. This 18-under matchup between Bulacan and Rizal, ending at 61 all at the end of regulation. Baluyot unable to break that deadlock. Looking ahead, Victoria able to finish plus the foul from Manansala. A nonchalant reaction once again from Lordy Victoria. They went to him time and time again in that fourth quarter. Hinanap nga lang during that end of the fourth where they needed to also get a basket. Now plugged into the beginning of overtime. Immediately an impact coming from Victoria.
I'm actually not so sure if he was on the floor during the last 2 minutes, and I think that could have been something that they could have gone to. But the pass is already in the past, and we're here in the first overtime with Bulacan now up by 3.
Vergara, ikot nila, wide open from the corner. Bawi naman kaagad. Long bomb, tying this ball game once again, or is it a long two rather? Hard to see from our angle, but it seems to be a long two, signaled by our officials. So Bulacan is still up by 1. Santos makes that 3 once again.
Russell Santos attacking the gut of the defense. They thought he was gonna drop it off, but on the other end, Baluyot with 4 straight points to keep Rizal within a single point.
Keeping a step is the result. Switch fiber. Basket after basket here in this overtime. Penalty ng parehong koponan. That will carry over here in the overtime period as Lord de Victoria. His third three-pointer of the game. And the 6th point here in overtime.
And you're going to have to wonder why he wasn't on the floor during that final 2 minutes as Sean Vergara, his own version of a 3. That's 3 3-pointers now, bridging the fourth quarter and overtime.
Where would they be without Sean Vergara's Victoria? That time blocked by Sean Franco. Finally finding Lord de Victoria on that arc. Looking at Sean Vergara, 3 out of 6 from the 3-point stripe. Now was 13. Ooh, eye in the sky play as Simon Polongbarit extends the lead of Bulacan, 71-68. A bonus free throw to boot.
Simon Pulongbarit able to power his way inside as head coach John Paul Magbitang should be breathing a little better now. A 3-point lead at this stage of the ball game is quite a luxury.
Polongbarit unable to complete on that 3-point play. 71-68 pa rin. Manansala off to the left. Polongbarit secures the rebound. Under 3 minutes left in our first overtime. They go to Del Pozo. Attacking strong. Manansala will be whistled for that personal. Will head to the line for 2.
And Rizal Del Pozo looks a little more comfortable attacking the basket, especially with the added muscle that he's put on during the past few months. And let's see if he can remain consistent from the free throw line.
We did say he has had an off game, and when we say that, it's just because this is not his usual numbers. Malayo sa kanyang averages, but Lord de Victoria, right, Mark Russell Santos, Simon Polongbarit, kind of stepping up their games in order to fill that gap. And so far, Sean Vergara has done the same in the absence of Ladica and D. 4-point lead para sa Bulacan, blocked by Polongbarit. Still 11 to work with.
And I like how Polongbarit remains to be effective on the defensive end despite having 4 personal fouls, not afraid of fouling out.
Shot clock is down to 10. 2.5 left in overtime. Del Pozo deflecting that pass from Tagorda. Rizal will reset. Austria floats it up, no good. Ball will jump ball, whistled by our officials. So 2 and 23, so they can't review it just yet. It should be under 2 minutes before they do that. But we do have the luxury of a replay. So Del Pozo initially, no replay completed. No problem, says Russell Del Pozo. Scores on another basket. Lead up to 6, 74-68.
Again, since they called the jump ball, we went to the possession arrow, and the possession arrow pointing towards the side of Bulacan.
Bulacan has another opportunity to extend this 6-point advantage. Last 2 minutes once again echoes the banana court here in Las Piñas. Del Pozo from outside. Too strong, Pulong Barret getting that rebound, but there's a reason why he got that rebound. He will be called for a loose ball foul. And it would mean free throws on the other side of the floor para sa Switch Fiber.
And Pulong Barret already with his 5th personal foul, so let's see who Bulacan puts in to try and protect the paint for them.
So no longer in the game was Sprix de la Vega, Nash Gapak, and joining them is Simon Pulong Barret committing his 5th and final foul. Baluyot will be tested on the line, strong on that first. Overtime natin. Bulacan House has outscored Rizal 13-7. Make that 13-8. After that free throw conversion. Parang biglang naging high scoring dito sa overtime eh.
We were saying up to halftime, the score was like the first quarter of the 16 and under game, and now we're in the low 70s.
Santos, 4 to shoot for Victoria. Stolen by Manansala. Great read. Ahead to Mendoza. Finishes with a layup plus the foul. Much needed basket for the Switch Fiber to bring this to a 1-possession ball game. Bonus free throw coming up for Axel Mendoza. Nasabitan pa nga siya ni Laksamana. Not the best foul if you're Laksamana. Either pabayaan mo na lang or make sure that he doesn't finish that layup.
Either you give up a hard foul and make sure you don't give up a 3-point play, or just give him the 2 points.
Mendoza though will miss on that bonus free throw. Santos hounded by Manansala once again.
Let's see
Gets the ball across.
Let's see how Bulacan protects the lead this time. Earlier, they had an 8-point advantage that was erased in about 2 minutes of action.
Del Pozo, head fake, inside, drop pass, Laksamana. What a play from RDP 30.
That's the development of the play of RDP 30. Before he takes that 3, this time he puts the ball on the floor, finds an open teammate underneath.
Mendoza unable to score underneath. 5-point lead para sa Bulacan. They bounce the ball off Laksamana. And we have possession para sa Rizal Switch Fiber, trailing by 5. And they call for this Nature Spring timeout. Heads up play there coming from Tagorda. No, it was Santos that lost that basketball. Pag-uusapan nga ng Rizal what they could come up with. Their attempt to once again overcome a 5-point deficit. It's 76-71, last 48.1 seconds sa ating unang overtime. Trying to qualify it as our first overtime because with my partner, no overtime is guaranteed to be the only overtime we have in the game.
But remember, you already have 2. I only have 1.
Let's not go to the numbers overall. if you say it's just this season, okay. I will surrender the throne. Baseline inbound, 14 seconds left on the shot clock. They go to Vergara. Has kept them alive all game long. Can't hit on that three. Put back from Baluyot. Ayaw pa rin. May halong malas na din dito para sa Rizal. Able to save it is Vergara. They get another opportunity. Nice fake. Baluyot gets that three to go. Lead down to 2, 76 to 74.
Was going to say they didn't need a 3.
Pressure on the backcourt. Santos gets it back. Gets it to Gonzalez for the finish. Maybe an insurance basket dito para sa Bulacan. Now up by 4 once again. Stolen by Victoria. Looking ahead to Santos. Wisely pulling it back. Last 10 seconds. May ipit and he will be fouled. A chance to get some insurance free throws for Mark Russell Santos. An opportunity para sa Rizal. Almost coming up with that steal on half court. The bounce of that ball not going Rizal's way. Instead, it went Bulacan's and Gonzalez making sure of that dish from Santos.
And also that steal by Victoria, very important, as Vergara was trying to kick out to what he thought was an open Baluyot, but Victoria able to read that perfectly, getting that steal, and the opportunity here for Santos to close this one out and allow us to go home already.
Santos has other things on his mind, missing on the first. Window still open. It'll be a 2-possession ball game regardless of the result. Sinks the second. No more timeouts para sa Rizal. Trailing by 5. Vergara speeding through the lane will lose that basketball. At hahawakan na nga lang ng Bulacan as time runs out in overtime. Credit dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber squad. Playing without Ladica, playing without Day. Try to hold on to their lead all throughout the game.
And they even had a shot to win it in regulation, but in the end, Bulacan finally figuring out how to protect that lead and will escape. When I say escape, they really did escape with a victory here, as the hard-fighting Rizal Switch Fiber team just not wanting to give up, even forcing overtime, but in the end just losing steam, and just a total team effort for JT Bulacan Taipan. But I felt like the big baskets were made by this young kid who just moved up from the 16 and under division and trying to become the Lord here in the 18 under.
Call him Lord Court, call him Lordy. It's Lordy Victoria with our Renoro Sanchez for our Don Benitos, best player of the game.
Thank you, Coach Noy and Jamie Jaime. But today, kasama natin ang best player of the game ni si Charles Lord Dwayne Victoria. Alam mo, everyone is expecting Delfonso to lead this game, but ikaw, pinakita mo na kaya mo din mag-lead with your score, 18 points and 1 rebound. So anong nafe-feel mo ngayon na ikaw ang nag-shine with this game?
Happy po. Hindi ko naman po magagawa kung hindi po dahil sa mga coaches ko, sa mga teammates ko, tsaka sa mga taong sumusuporta po sa akin.
May gusto ka bang batiin na nanonood sa'yo sa ating live?
Una po, nagpapasalamat po kay God na binigay po sa amin panalo na to. At sa family ko po na todo suporta sa akin, kila mama, kila Popo, sila Daday, sila AJ, sila Tita Donna. Sa Victoria family, Lumaban family, San Mateo family, tsaka Ramos family. At sa boss po namin, si Boss Joe Bentay, at kay Boss Charles, tsaka po sa buong Living Angel Season Academy, sa mga heads po namin, kay Ma'am Joy, kay Ma'am Jazz, kay Ma'am Edith. Yun po. Tsaka po sa coaching staff po namin, kila Coach Jiro, kila Coach Paul. Ayun po. Tsaka po sa girlfriend ko po, si Lena.
Once again, that's Charles Lord Dwayne Victoria, our best player of the game. We would also like to thank Don Benitos for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy. Don Benitos, ang pangbansang kasaba. Back to you, mga kaliga.
Thank you, Reno, and congratulations, Lordy Victoria. Well-deserved Don Benitos, best player of the game. Really carried his team to victory. Hindi pa po tayo dyan matatapos. We still have 3 more games coming right up, courtesy of Cho Pangilinan and Quito Limbo, bringing you those games. Antipolo JY Titans will go up against the Marikina Junior Shoe Masters. Magpapaalam na po kami ni Coach Noy Africa. We'll see you again in the next installation of your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.